Tokyo, officially known as the Tokyo metropolis, serves as the capital of Japan and boasts a population exceeding 14 million within the city proper as of 2023. This makes it one of the most densely populated urban areas globally. The surrounding Greater Tokyo area, encompassing Tokyo and parts of 6 adjacent prefectures, holds the title of the most populous metropolitan area worldwide, housing 41 million residents as of 2024. In contrast, Kyoto, the capital of Kyoto Prefecture, situated in the Kansai region on Honshu, Japan's largest and most populated island. As of 2020, Kyoto's population stood at 1.46 million, ranking it as the 9th largest city in Japan. Interestingly, the names of both cities, Tokyo and Kyoto, are perfect anagrams, as they use the same letters in differing order. But why is this the case? Is there a historical reason behind this striking similarity in their names? The answer lies in Japan's history, when Kyoto served as the nation's capital for nearly a millennium before the capital was relocated to Tokyo, known originally as Edo. Tokyo has since remained Japan's capital to this day, carrying forward its new name that shares this unique connection with Kyoto. But to fully understand this naming coincidence, it is essential to delve into the history of Japan's former capitals. Traditionally, Japan's capital has been defined by the location of the emperor's residence. From 794 to 1868, the emperor resided in Heian-kyo, meaning peaceful or tranquil capital, which is one of the historical names for the city we now know as Kyoto. Intriguingly, Heian-kyo was originally called Pekin, or northern capital, reflecting its position north of Nara, the imperial capital during the Nara period from 710 to 794, before the seat of the emperor was relocated to Heian-kyo. For more than a millennium, from 794 until 1868, with a brief interruption in 1185, Heian-kyo served as Japan's imperial capital and cultural heart. In 794, Emperor Kanmu, the 50th emperor of Japan, established Heian-kyo as the new imperial capital, relocating the imperial court from nearby Nagaoka-kyo. This decision was made on the advice of his trusted advisor Waki Kiyomaro, following severe damage to Nagaoka-kyo caused by heavy rains and flooding. The move marked the start of the Heian period in Japanese history, with Heian meaning peace or tranquility. Modern scholarship suggests that Heian-kyo was designed based on traditional Chinese feng shui principles, drawing inspiration from the urban layout of Chang'an, the Tang dynasty capital, now modern-day Xi'an. For over 11 centuries, the emperors of Japan ruled from Heian-kyo, which during the latter part of the Heian period became widely known as Kyoto, meaning capital city. Kyoto remained Japan's primary political center until 1185. This year marked the end of the Gunpei War, a 5-year national civic conflict in which the samurai Minamoto clan triumphed over the rival Tada clan at the decisive major sea battle of Dan-no-ura on April 25, 1185. The victorious Minamoto clan shifted the administration of national affairs to the eastern city of Kamakura, establishing the Kamakura shogunate. Its founder Minamoto no Yoritomo appointed himself as shogun, Japan's first military ruler, on July 12, 1192. He governed as military dictator from Kamakura until his death on February 9, 1199. During this period, the Emperor of Japan and the imperial court remained in the official capital of Heian-kyo, serving largely as figureheads. Although political authority would be exercised by the samurai class across 3 successive shogunates, the Kamakura, Kenmu and Ashikaga, Heian-kyo retained its status as the seat of the imperial court and symbolic center of imperial power. As a result, it continued to be a hub of Japanese culture, politics and religion. This remained the case until Tokugawa Ieyasu rose to prominence as the dominant warlord of the Sengoku period, a time of nearly continuous civil wars and social upheaval in Japan during the 15th and 16th centuries. Following his decisive victory at the Battle of Sekigahara on October 21, 1600, Tokugawa Ieyasu consolidated power and formally established the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603, proclaiming himself as the first shogun. From this point, he governed Japan from Edo Castle, located in the eastern city of Edo in Musashi Province. The name Edo is derived from the kanji characters e, meaning cove or inlet, and to, meaning entrance, gate or door. This name, which can be interpreted as estuary, reflects the original settlement's geographic position at the confluence of the Sumida River and Edo Bay, now known as Tokyo Bay. Edo emerged as a center of political power and functioned as the de facto capital of Japan, while Kyoto retained its status as a de jure capital, serving as the seat of the emperor. In essence, Edo housed the shogun's administration, while Kyoto was home to the imperial palace. Over time, Edo grew into the world's largest metropolis, with an estimated population of 1 million by 1721. The Tokugawa shogunate's power began to wane during the Bakumatsu period, starting in 1853. On January 3, 1868, the Tokugawa shogunate was overthrown during the Meiji Restoration by forces loyal to Emperor Meiji and his imperial court in Kyoto, ending Edo's status as a de facto capital. Following the restoration, however, the seat of government and the emperor's residence were relocated to Edo, and Edo Castle was repurposed as the new imperial palace. The decision to relocate to Edo was primarily influenced by strategic location and accessibility for trade with the West. The move also symbolized Japan's shift towards modernization and its openness to the outside world as it transitioned from its ancient capital. Upon becoming the formal capital of Japan, the new Meiji government renamed Edo to Tokyo, combining To meaning east and Kyo meaning capital. Edo thus transformed into Tokyo, or the eastern capital, reflecting its position to the east of the former imperial capital Kyoto. This naming echoed Kyoto's earlier designation as the northern capital, as it was located north of Nara, the previous imperial capital. capital. In response, Kyoto was briefly referred to as Saikyo, meaning western capital. Alongside this, with its status as the imperial capital from 794 to 1868, Kyoto is often celebrated as the 1,000-year capital. However, it's hard to say it truly was the capital of Japan from 794. Instead, it's more accurate to say that it serves the capital of the state that modern Japan succeeded, as it not encompassed northern Honshu, Hokkaido, or Okinawa at that time. This naming tradition adhered to the East Asian custom of incorporating the character for capital into the names of capital cities. Additionally, in East Asian kanji-based cultures, significant cities and capitals are often named after cardinal directions, a practice originating in ancient China. Cities were frequently designated with names like East Capital, West Capital, South Capital, North Capital, and Central Capital, reflecting their geographical orientation and location. Among the most notable examples are Keijo, the capital city, now present-day Seoul, the capital of South Korea, Pekin or Beijing, the northern capital, the current capital of China and one of the four great ancient capitals of China, Nankin or Nanjing, the southern capital. It serves as the capital for various Chinese dynasties, kingdoms and republican governments from the 3rd century to 1949. It is also one of China's four great ancient capitals. Zhejiang, the western capital, now present-day Xi'an, known as Chang'an. For much of its history, Xi'an was a capital city under several significant Chinese dynasties and is another one of China's four great ancient capitals. And of course, Tokyo, the eastern capital, the present-day capital of Japan, following the same cardinal naming tradition. The similarity in names between Kyoto, the capital city, and Tokyo, the eastern capital, is no mere coincidence. Both share the kanji character Kyo, which signifies the presence of the emperor, marking both cities as imperial capitals of Japan during different historical periods. This naming convention, combined with the inversion of Kyoto and Tokyo, highlights the geographical and historical significance of these two prominent cities. In Japanese, the order of elements in a compound word often reflects the contextual relationship. For Kyoto, Kyo or capital appears first, underscoring its role as a historical and original capital. In Tokyo, however, the focus shifts to its geographical position, To meaning east, emphasizing its status as the newer capital situated to the east of the older Kyoto. This nuanced linguistic structure elegantly encapsulates the transition and importance of these cities in Japan's history. Although the kanji character Kyo, meaning capital, is pronounced the same in both Tokyo and Kyoto, the pronunciation of the To in each name differs noticeably for the average Japanese speaker. In Tokyo, the To is an extended sound similar to To. Tokyo. Meanwhile, in Kyoto, the To is pronounced with a sharper and shorter intonation, lacking the elongated vowel. Kyoto. Thus, the similarity in their names stems from the shared designation of both cities as imperial capitals at different points in Japan's history, each serving as the residence of the emperor during their respective periods of prominence. This hasn't me, Jack, and if you're in either Tokyo or Kyoto right now, please leave a comment down below.